as we start rumbling.
There goes Muse running right up the middle. Makes a cut. And he's brought down. Flag on the play.
On the return was number 11, Jimmy Muse. As you said, tackle was by number 57, Josh Mack, which sets up Elizabeth with the 1st and 10 at their 27. However, there is a flag.
Face masking call against Franklin.
That's going to be 15 yards or 5, depending on what they choose. That's a personal foul. So that's going to move the ball up to the 42-yard line, where Elizabeth is going to, or 41-yard line, where Elizabeth is going to take over 1st and 10.
Four receivers, single back.
That's a great play in the backfield there. Number 4, David Anderson on the tackle with help from number 65.
Looks like they have Milton Hunt.
Defensive problems against Union.
Hunter takes a snap. Rolls out to pass, throws to Muse. It's good for a 10-yard gain.
As you hear, number 2, Niall Muse on the tackle. Just short of her first.
Looks like Muse is...
handoff. Looks like they got the first down on that play.
I don't know. It's a close one.
Looked like number 7 was in there, Keenan Reed, trying to make the stop. But, yeah, you may be right.
They make it. Hunter's in a shotgun, receives the snap, hands it off.
It's Page. There he goes. Breaks
a few tackles. It's brought down, 13-yard gain. Tough run by Page in the shotgun. Hunter receives the snap. Another handoff to Page.
This time Franklin's got it scouted
for a 1-yard loss.
Is number 50, Kawan Orders, and number 12, Ibrahim Kamara.
And that's the type of defense Franklin's going to have played.
Then again, this has been a consistent theme with the Franklin defense. It's just jumping off sides. I mean, you want to be aggressive, you want to make the play, but you got to watch the ball.
Fundamentals, Howard, fundamentals.
You know, the coaches.
This time uses quarterback. He keeps it on the option. He's going out to the right sideline. Makes a few moves.
And he's in. He's in.
And he scored a touchdown.
There's a flag, however. The call here.
Personal
foul. Face mask. Defense.
So that touchdown is going to count.
Count the score.
That's what you get for growing up in Elizabeth. You can learn some of the names.
That kick is straight up in the air. And
kick is good.
That kick is good.
If you want to see us, Betrego with the kick.
Angles it towards the sideline at the 10.
He's wrapped up by number 80.
Yep, Niall Uzel on the return.
Antonio Mojica.
They'll start from the 20-yard line here still in the first quarter.
Now we're going to see that matchup I was talking about, Howard, that Elizabeth defensive line.
This will be it.
Elizabeth's going to be playing a 4-3.
Man in motion. Inside handoff. That's Niall Uzel on the handoff. He's met by a host of Minutemen there. Looked like the Boston Tea Party going to that tackle. That's Tyler Howard, number 26 on the carry, pushed out of bounds
by Pernell Williams, number 3.
However, that's good for a Franklin first down.
In on that one.
Nile again on the carry into the teeth of this defense.
That was the middle linebacker on the tackle,
Looks
Jason
like number
Gustav.
20. Uzo on the carry.
And that's Gustav and Malachi Mathis, number 15 on the team tackle there.
Yep, number 3. Yep, on these short runs. Back to pass Darius, and the ball comes out.
That was Max Michel, a defensive end on the tackle.
Number 15 on the recovery. Malachi Mathis with the fumble stick defense here.
Okay, watch for Muse. He's in the left slot. Hunter's about to take the snap, getting some last-minute direction from Coach Quinn. Page switches sides. Hand off to Page. Makes a few cuts. Ball pops loose. And it's recovered by Franklin. Now, Howard, that was a pop. Looks like Elizabeth's going to be sending a linebacker on a stunt. The tackle in the backfield by number 4, Michelle again. Howard, it's always great when you got defense who could crash down and make.
Always works against an aggressive defense. We're just consistently going into that middle there. That was Niall Uzel again carrying the ball.
70 pounds.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, watch for Darius Green, or number 75. Comes from a famous family of football players in Elizabeth.
And he's got the first. Darius Gibson on the carry. Big carry.
That's Azir Lawson on the tackle, number 20.
It's only a 2-receiver set. As we continue to hand the ball off to Niall Uzel.
And that's Azir Lawson, number 20 on the first hit. Howard, it really takes a toll on a defense when you're out there. You know,
I look at this, it's astonishing of how good we have it. That's a quarterback keeper.
So Elizabeth sent Azir Lawson, left side outside linebacker, on a blitz, and that's what we're talking about, Howard. Sometimes that aggressiveness will lead to over.
That's a first. That's Uzo. He can break it. On the shoestrings was number 3.
Pernell Williams. Well, that was it. I'll tell you what, Howard, if Williams doesn't make that tackle,
rushing,
set a new school record. There you go.
So Uzo again on the carry. 59 made that tackle. Very little gain, but still moving the ball and moving the clock, which is what you want.
Taylor's the bookend and to Mich.
Man in motion on a jet sweep. However, Gibson keeps it, lobs it out there. Intended for number 4, David Anderson, falls incomplete.
Some pressure applied by Mathis on that one. They sent the linebacker Mathis on blitz.
He
coming out looking to blitz up the middle.
Uzel, however, will break it and go in for the 6. Niall Uzel.
Howard, he looked sharp on that, but there was a flag.
We got a flag back at the line, and we got holding on the offense. You know, whenever you see that, you always have to think, spread formation. Gibson waiting for the snap. It looks like they jumped on that. It's again Uzel. This time he's going to break on the outside. Will he get it? Oh, so close.
Elizabeth was playing with a dime package on that one.
Number 11 was in on that tackle just
That's
by the
Jamin
shoestrings.
Muse. So he could play on offense. He could play on defense. Muse will be the free safety.
Look for a jet sweep or look for something coming at this direction. There it is. And he turns it up.
Oh, it's going to be a close one, Howard.
Give me a measurement. Oh, no, he's got it. He's got it by at least a yard. Uzel with another
That was
sparkler.
Azir Lawson on the tackle, number 20.
And again, we've held the ball for a good
morale.
Got a lot of movement.
There's that jet sweep you were talking about, Howard.
Yep. Usually it's to 26. Tyler Howard usually runs that play, and he did on that one.
That was Eden Germain on the tackle, number 1.
From the 13. Andre Taylor takes the handoff and is swamped over.
He's hit hard by number 15
on the play. However, we did
Malachi
have a late
Mathis.
flag. We'll have to wait and see what the penalty
Looks like
is.
A personal foul against Elizabeth.
Oh, you got to love that. That's an automatic first if it's down there.
Howard, this is going to be a battle of who makes the least mistakes, I feel.
But isn't that what high school football is all about? You remember your days.
It's a time of learning. I can't tell you how many mistakes I made.
You know, it's the guy that makes the least mistakes, that doesn't stand out, that doesn't get yanked from the game. Next thing you know, you're in the end zone. Penalty. It should have been a first half the distance, but we'll wait to watch the tape to figure out what that was. There goes Gibson. Oh, he runs over somebody.
Wow, Howard, they fooled me on that one.
Boy.
Looks like number 3, Pernell Williams, was on the tackle, saved a touchdown.
The 1 foot line.
Here's that battle in the trenches, Howard, playing out for us.
Going shotgun, giving it to Nile. Is he in? He's in. Nile Uzel. Number 3 is Antonio Scott. In for the extra point. He's been successful. However, that one was blocked
by Muse.
So we got 11:22 remaining. Here.
So much hinges on special teams, Howard.
Yep.
Whether it's extra points or kickoffs. The kick is short.
Uh-oh.
It's returned by number 44, Danage Olivier.
Looked like Tyke on a tackle in there. One of the last ones getting up. Along with number 15 from Franklin, Elijah.
Looks like they have Muse.
Wide. Yep.
Muse back as quarterback now. Look for some runs. Hands to Page.
Caught way behind the line.
There goes that zone read option, Howard.
Yep. Brandon Harrison all over the zone. A powerful team. I mean, this team has sent people to Temple and has run the table there. No gain on that play.
Muse keeps it on that one.
Yep, that was Brandon Harrison again with a little help from Ibrahim Kamara.
Back. Muse is in the slot. Oh, it's nearly intercepted. Off the hands of Dodley Thermitis, number 10.
That was Ari Folks diving for the ball there. That some teams in Texas don't even kick. They just go for it. They said there's too many things that could go wrong. There you go.
Bad snap.
What I just say. Scoop and score. Scoop and score. Oh, and they marked it down. They marked it down.
It was a bad stop, bad snap to Petrigo,
Jason
right over his head.
Logan. Oh, didn't I just say? That's why teams in Texas don't kick the ball. Live here as Franklin has the ball on the 1 yard line with 9:42 remaining here in the second quarter. And
Bad
that's
snap.
a bad snap back, and he does the right thing, Gibson, and falls on the ball. No reason to pick it up, no reason to lose it on another fumble. Just fall on it and live to fight another day. As that pushes him all the way back to the 13-yard line.
Gives Elizabeth a little more breathing room on that, Howard.
Yep, and also gives
Elizabeth shifting over.
There he goes.
Missed tackle.
Nope. Cannot get the corner. Look at tripped up by number 20, and then a late flag. Don't know if that was on Franklin or if that was on Elizabeth.
That was Muse and Lawson on the tackle. Let's see what it is.
Usually that's a little chattiness. We only watched the first one because we're excited. Gibson is out, looking. Caught.
A great grab.
Number 4, David Anderson.
There was pressure coming from Gustav and Michelle, Howard.
That was some play.
But Gibson was able to stave it off on that rollout.
So we get a flag after the play. Good snap, good hold. The kick is getting there. And it is.
That's Muse coming around there. They're going to.
No good.
He's the one who blocked it last time.
Up again. He handles the duties for Franklin.
Uzel's back deep, but not real deep. He's at the 30.
It's a short kick again.
He doesn't receive it. Page receives it. Page makes it to the Franklin 46.
Yeah, it looked like number 25, Marcus Roberts, in on that tackle. And they can start up any time at all.
Muse is in motion. Hunter rolling out. Throws a short pass to Muse. Just dropped. Broken up.
That's a handoff right up the middle. Looks for about 3. That's 24 again.
Jared Page.
Kyron Page going up the middle. Stopped by the entire line of.
Looked like he just had to come out for a play. Hunter's dropping out. Swing pass to Page.
He's going to be dragged down, though.
He gets a short gain, about 2 yards.
Yeah. Ibrahim Kamara in on that tackle, which is what you want to see. Punt. I don't know if I do this.
Good snap.
Good kick. Oh, no. Better cover it. Wonder what this flag could be. Line up again. Single back. 2 wide. Here's the sweep. Sniffed out on the backfield there. Number 70.
That's Joaquin Brooks,
72.
one of the defensive tackles.
Sniffed that one right out. He knew the sweep was coming.
Well, look, Howard, they're bringing an extra guy up onto the defensive line. Now they're back to their 4-3 package.
Boy, he is quick, huh?
That's Lawson on the tackle, number 20.
He just has that first step, which is just explosive going out of there.
Well,
like they're lining up 2 wide again, single back, man in motion, goes back behind a quarterback for split backs, extra protection.
See, Mathis walked up to the line on that one.
Fighting for yards, still fighting. You have to watch out. You have to watch out because you don't want to aid the runner. You know, look like Gottswell was pushing a little bit. We do have a flag in the backfield there. Don't know what that is. I don't know why someone picked it up. You're not supposed to pick up the flags. You're supposed to leave them on the ground because it is a spot.
Trick.
Oh, yeah. Anyways, it's going to be a first down for Franklin. Open. That's Jason Logan. Big catch for Logan. He had 1 catch last week.
Page was in on the tackle on that.
Yeah, look also like number 22 was in on that one.
Yeah, that is Nicholson Tenor.
Good for another 8 yards as Franklin is
really out of sync right now.
Oh boy. Avoids one.
Ooh. Michelle,
Number
a defensive
4.
end on the sack there. That's the thing, Howard. They're fast.
Again, back in the shotgun. That's pretty much what we use. 2 wide, single back, handoff denial, and back in the backfield is not going to get the first this time. As he is tripped up. Punting the ball will be Darius Gibson, who also has those duties along with playing quarterback. Another bad snap.
Looks like the kick was blocked.
Low kick, but it will get a good Franklin roll. Out of bounds, just about at the
Howard, did
49-yard
Michelle
line.
get a piece of that, the defensive end?
It might have been just, yeah, it might have been blocked because he's usually better. He's usually a good average 28, 30-yard kicker.
Right now. Running trips left. Hughes is going to do the option. Pitches out to Page.
Whoa, big hit on the play.
Page is upended, but not before getting a 3-yard gain.
I believe that is a penalty flag. We have a block from behind on the offense, which is going to move that ball back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Those penalties, Howard.
Yeah, you know, you got a lot of guys that are going both ways, and when you got to play defense for 18, 20 minutes, you know, or 16 minutes.
Hunter takes a snap. He throws to Muse. It's complete for a 6-yard gain, but that just brings them back to what's going to be a 2nd and 9.
That's Ari Folkson on that tackle. So they get back one of the new things we brought in this year.
The handoff to Page.
That is not going to get you a first down. Big tackle. Number 65, Brandon Harrison, with helper number 12, Ibrahim Kamara.
Got Muse on the right side in the slot.
Deep drop. We got a catch.
We'll see the call. That was Muse.
We got a catch.
Muse on the reception there.
That's Muse on the catch. Out of bounds, which will... Penalty was roughing the passer, which should add 15 onto the end of that play, which will take it down to just about... Well, I'm not going to say anything because, you know what, I've been wrong all night long. So we'll just wait and see where the spot is.
Well, that's just the type of break that Elizabeth needs.
It does. It moves it down to the 15-yard line, which is an additional... Got a big spread offense here. 4 wide, single back, and it goes to that back, 24.
That's Page again. Good for about 6 yards on that one, Howard.
Yep. So we got
they've got Muse at quarterback. Look for that zone option. Hands it off to Page, who's going out wide left. Did he make it in, Howard?
No signal yet. No, he is at the 1-foot line right now on short yardage.
Steps.
Hand it back. Slices in.
And that's Page.
And he's in. Karan Page in for the short 1-yard run. Number 34 is in to attempt the extra point. And that kick is good.
That's Bertrago.
So we're going to see what... Here's your kickoff. Sails back just about to the 5-yard line. With speed coming up the middle.
That is Nassim Daniels, number 14 on the tackle. We've got a player slow getting up for Elizabeth.
Yep, that was number 41. Trayvon Morgan could be cramping.
Oh.
26-yard line. That's a handoff to Nile, trying to break it, but not getting too many yards on that play. Maybe a 2 or 3 yard gain before he stopped the line.
Wrapped up by a host of Minutemen on that one, Howard.
Yep.
Again, that's that interior defensive line. That's Greenor and Brooks, 72.
Which is good thinking on by the coaches. Another run. This time he slips down on the play. And that should end our half. It's been an exciting one. Again, we are going to bring you the Franklin High School Marching Band once they hit the field. I'd like to let everybody. Elizabeth is overloading to one side.
There's the kickoff from Butrego.
And it goes down the middle of the field.
Big hole up the middle. Breaks a few tackles. Finally brought down by Eden Germain, number 1.
Looks like a late flag thrown in there. Yep, I did see a late flag thrown in.
The 25-yard return, Howard.
That was big. That brings him out to the 40, 42, 43-yard line here. Have to see what the call is. It's going to be a personal foul, face mask, on the defense, which is going to add to that return. I know, like they did for the roughing the passer. Well, as footballs are flying at us. As the cheerleaders are showing off that they have some kind of arms. Darius Gibson is going to be jealous. Here it comes. Oh, just missed the computer.
It's great to see the spirit out here. The
42-yard line with that penalty.
Nassim Daniels, number 14, drives him out of bounds.
Now we got one from the Elizabeth Avenue Fire Company. Another 15-yard penalty on the defense.
Howard, this brings back memories. When I was in that Minuteman uniform 20 years ago, this is the type of thing. You know, I was a defensive guy. I was a linebacker, and those
up.
All right.
We're sorry we can't show you them throwing the balls around up here, but you'll just have to imagine it at home. That's Uzo on the carry. Brought down and after a very short gain. Number 4 in on the tackle.
Yeah, that's Max Michel, one of the defensive ends. Very aggressive.
Getting their bearings.
Looks like Gustav is coming up. The middle linebacker came up on the blitz and is in on the tackle.
Yep. He's joined by about 4 or 5 other Minutemen. Looks like they were storming Valley Forge there on that play. Remember, you're the history teacher.
If they want to be successful, they need Franklin to be in these positions.
Big drop.
He's got all day to throw it.
Oh.
Finally, the pressure gets to him.
Yeah, you know, you can only
Joaquin Brooks put a lot of the pressure on him. Gibson was able to avert that, only to get sacked by Darius Greenor and another Elizabeth player.
Are going for it. As he's grabbed.
Hit, it's an interception.
Yep. Gibson was grabbed on the play as he threw the ball. Number 24, Page, picks it up. Again, you know, 2 wide up top, single down the bottom, single back. That's a keeper.
That's Muse keeping it on the.
And he is wrapped up. Seven. Keenan Reed back there on the tackle. Wraps him up.
So we're seeing a lot of that zone read option, and pretty much you know that's coming.
You wonder if the NFL has caught up to the zone read, but, you know, high schools still are using it.
Hands
off to Page. Handoff. No room. That was number 65, Brandon Harrison, another huge tackle. Brandon had at least 4 or 5
they're seeing.
That's a
Muse
keeper.
keeps it. He's going wide on the right.
He does not have a lot of room out there.
Nowhere to go.
So we're going to have looks like it's going to be a 4th and long here.
Yeah. On their own 20, 28, 29-yard line, 27. They're going to punt it.
Punting again. Going to give it another whirl. Well, they did have a successful
snap.
punt. Whoa. Very close to being blocked. Gets a good roll, though. Looks like it hit somebody. That's where they're marking it, at the 42. Or one to break.
He's brought down by Max Michel, but not before Franklin gets a 7-yard gain.
Crazy handoff in the backfield, but it looks like Niles going to take it to the first down. Looks like they're going to spot him at the first.
Brought down by Page on that one. You know, Howard, when you talk about players playing on both offense and defense, there's something called like the 50% rule. And whatever be up here, Howard.
Yeah, you know, we could put a small grill on the roof. I don't think anybody would have a problem with that.
I'll tell you, calling a game works up an appetite. Oh, this doesn't look good, Howard.
Yeah, this
Brandon Harrison's down.
Yeah,
he's grabbing his knee.
He is one of our marquee players.
Been walking around on the sideline, getting some water.
2nd down handoff. Now Uzal again into the pack.
And that's Max Michel, the defensive end, crashing down on that. The linemen, they're really ripe for some misdirection plays.
Open. That's Isaiah Bryan on a catch.
And he's brought down by Eden Germain.
Isaiah gets a 1st down and a catch, one of his first of the season. Held onto the ball, and again. Kind of right up the middle. He breaks one tackle, which he's done so many times. Number 24 on the trip up there.
Well, I'll tell you, if Page doesn't make that trip up, he would have been gone. And he's starting to really wear him down.
Now, again, single setback, handoff. He's going to try to get outside, use his speed. He leaves one person in the dust, however. He can't get away from number 3.
Pernell Williams.
You know, you got the outside. He put somebody down on the ground there with the run. But however, Franklin now is looking at a 3rd down. It's a quarterback keeper. Gibson right up the middle. Just a little short. But he is all the way up to just about the 10-yard line.
That's Darius Green or the defensive tackle on the tackle, which can't be made as the challenge, Howard. When you're this close, you gotta punch it in. You gotta get into that end zone.
There goes Niall. He's gonna be just about a yard short, it looks, from up here, which is a big 4th down. We know our kicking game's a little suspect tonight, so you know they're going to be going for it. Coach Solomon has made this call. If we saw this against Union on that 4th and 1 at the end of the half, Uzo, though, has a lot of speed and looks to have it with plenty of room. Plenty of room. Going to be 1st and goal from just inside the 8-yard line. You know, the coach cheering him on. Gibson has it. Tripped up just about at the 4, at the 5. We'll call it the 4.5.
Looks like Gustav was in on that tackle, the middle linebacker.
Yeah, we're standing tight on this play because it looks like it's going to be a run. Field. Time is quickly running out here in the 3rd. Uzel takes it. He's got speed. He's got a good push. Down to the 2-yard line.
Big tackle there by Azir Lawson.
Franklin is going to have to run a play.
How
else is in that box?
You've got 6 guys on the line.
Not going to get it on that one. We're going to be going to the 4th. As time runs out in the 3rd quarter. So we're at 3 quarters.
Here's the battle of will in the trenches, Howard.
Under center. Nope, dropped. It's going to be a pass. Now he's going to run and not get in. And the ball comes out, but they're saying he was down.
He's brought down by Joaquin Brooks, one of the defensive tackles.
And the ball was down, because if that ball wasn't down, that was 6 points. The 1st and 10, inside handoff, loses a yard. Ibrahim Kamara in there on that tackle.
You're doing a lot. Look, he's under center now,
yes,
and it's Hunter.
That's what you would expect at this yard line.
Yeah, too risky to be snapping the ball here. They just want to get out of this position.
Another one. No gain. Got about 2 yards. That's 24 again on the run. David Anderson stopped him that time after a short gain. So you got 3rd down from the 8 here. We're hinging on this. It's a 3rd and just about 7 from the 8.
And we've got Muse there taking a snap. We see some of that zone
keeper,
read option.
He breaks a couple tackles and then gets hit pretty hard.
Oh, this is going to be a close one.
He may have had it. However, now we have extracurricular activities. And
Muse
this is not part of the
hard
border.
Hit, though he caught a few nice ones in the first half. So we got trips right for Elizabeth. Single back. Hunter is the quarterback. The handoff is to Page. Page gets a 3-yard gain.
David Anderson in on that tackle prevents him from breaking it. However, it is a 3-yard gain, which brings up 2nd, maybe about 4th. 2nd. Page for the live stream. I'd like to hear from everybody out there.
The handoff to Page. Page has got some running room, breaks a tackle, and goes out of bounds. Oh, some misdirection, a reverse. We see a penalty.
That's going to be a block. I'm thinking that may be a block from behind, and he throws that flag all the way back there.
Well, it was a good stop by Franklin. There was nowhere for Elizabeth to go. They actually took a 1-yard loss on that anyway, Howard.
Yeah. So depends on what Franklin wants to do. Do you give him 2nd down, or do you give him a down over and move him back 10? It looks like we're moving him back 10.
That is a tough decision. It looks like they're taking the yardage, but they'll get to redo the down.
Yep.
It is always nice to pin the other team further and further back in their own area.
9 yards for a 1st down.
That's Muse keeping it, and he's getting wrapped up.
That is not something you want your quarterback to do after he just had problems with his legs and cramps, and now he's buried under about 3 or 4 Warriors back on the back even further at the 20, almost at the 17
10 yards to get a 1st down
you got your
instead
trips,
of a mile.
It's a wide open offense here, and it's an inside handoff.
Handoff to Page, 4-yard gain. Stumbles forward.
Yep. That's your classic 2nd and long draw.
Nice to see Coach Von B out there working with the kicking team. There goes Muse. Muse has some room.
Still caught.
Oh, no. A flag gets thrown out. Could be a late hit, Howard.
I don't know about,
Well, that would be a good punt out of this. They got Betrego back deep.
Good snap. Yep. Oh, looks like it was blocked partially because that went nowhere.
And that
somebody might have got in there with a hand the way that went straight up in the air. Because
that was
they believed, or at least a little bit, though, that they were going to win. Big run on a botched handoff.
Play.
Yeah, botched handoff to Nile. However, Gibson keeps it and trucks on down for about 7 yards, bringing up a 2nd and 7. This is where your offense turns it on because the defense is just a little suspect now.
Elizabeth bringing 6, bringing the heat.
The run, so every now and then it's good to show that pass. Here's a sweep. Makes a great cut. That's that jet sweep, cutting up right up the middle. Catches Elizabeth a little bit back.
Well, if Eden Germain does.
Quarterback keeper, Gibson again. Falls forward for a couple yards.
And that is Jeremiel Taylor, 59, the other defensive end on that tackle.
It's going to be Uzel swarmed over by number 4 back in the backfield. Coming right over the top.
Elizabeth needs to hold.
Or at least get half. You want to get half.
Well, it was tough. There was a lot of pressure coming up the middle there.
That would look like
you
an
had
all-out
Jeremiel
blitz.
Taylor coming up the middle. You had Lopez coming up the middle.
No, Franklin was not 16. Somebody's open.
Pass broken up by Pernell Williams. That is a big play.
Like a full house backfield back there.
Muse is back. We're going to be seeing a lot
of
that zone read option. He rolls out left. He throws a duck.
Out of bounds.
Right. It's a handoff to Page. Wide side. He's got running room. Runs really hard. Gets a 13-yard gain.
Yep. Niall Uzo was the first to get run over, making the tackle, at least trying to get a stoppage here. You know, this is the time now where Franklin's got a buck.
That prevails. Muse keeps it.
He's going to get hit again. You know, he's taking a beating. You know, Kawan Orders was in on that tackle. You got Ibrahim Kamara, so they know exactly when to hike the ball. Still using the spread.
Ball is loose.
And I think Franklin has it. We do.
This is
Number
a huge
65.
opportunity. Oh, Brandon Harrison.
Brandon Harrison. Brandon Harrison has
advantage of that tired Elizabeth's defense.
This is one of our key plays. He just needs one block. Big run on the play.
And Elizabeth is not able to tackle him before he gets out of bounds, stopping the clock. Hard hit up the middle.
Yep. We got an injured player, number 72 on the defense.
72, that's Joaquin Brooks, the defensive tackle.
Yep, he's riding down there. As you can look at this, we got about 3 or 4 of them limping around down there.
Number 4, Max Mitchell, is also limping. Option.
Uzel's on the carry. Just can't shake number 2. Christopher McCary just got him. Uzel again. He's got to get down to about the 23 for the first. He's 2 yards short right here. 2 yards short. As they're pretty much going to spot that ball and watch Franklin take it. That looks like we're set. It's going to be a sweep. Oh.
Elizabeth with a huge play. Huge
We're going to
get it. No flag thrown for that.
He was looked like the referee was reaching in his pocket after that tackle.
That is hard to believe, that play, and it just continued on afterwards. I throw the flag.
You know, they got to continue to run the ball because we still got 2 timeouts. You know, still got 2 timeouts here. You know, Franklin uses their the way we look at it.
Looked
They
like
got a false start.
illegal motion on that one.
Yeah, easy false start on that play. Going forward.
So Elizabeth loses 5 yards on that and not a
stops the
second
clock.
off the clock.
Yep. Second down, gets the snap. It's a quarterback
Hughes takes
keeper,
it.
number 11. You got everybody
2 yards.
Yep, everybody trying to dig that ball out of there. You know, Muse has 2 hands on it right now, hoping to hold on to it. Franklin uses its last timeout. That's a sweep for number 11, Muse. He is not. Oh, could you imagine? Did he get out of bounds?
Yeah, Muse.
Nope, stayed in bounds.
Muse is tackled in bounds, and the clock continuing big is going to happen here.
Well, they're going to get it off. He's going to have room if he touches it.
Okay, that will stop the clock with
Stops
4
the clock.
seconds.
4.4 seconds left. 0.4 left. This is your ball game.
They've got to protect. They got to give him time.
Got time. He is going to launch it. Niall Uzel had it. Had a chance.
That's a tough one.
Had a chance.
That is a tough one.
What